As an agency signed model for the last 12 years, I'm going to give you some tips on how you can also become a model if you happen to be petite and fit into the category of being a little bit smaller versus the 5'11 models, for instance. Hi there, I am Kamla-Kay. I have booked modeling jobs for brands such as Kohl's, Stella McCartney, Disney, the Ritz-Carlton, IT Cosmetics, you name it. And so I'm also a modeling mentor, modeling coach, where I teach aspiring models all about how to get into the modeling industry and also teaching tips on how to pose, whether you're a model or whether you want nothing to do with the modeling industry. That's everything that you will learn on this channel, so make sure that you subscribe if those things interest you. All right, when it comes to being a petite model, of course you know that a lot of agencies have very strict requirements in terms of height that they're looking for when they sign an aspiring model. So in that sense, when you are looking for an agency that will potentially be more willing to work with you, there are two things that you should be mindful of. When you're on Google, for instance, normally you type in things like modeling agencies in California, New York, Salt Lake City, Oregon, whatever your state or city is, right? But what you also want to be making sure that you're doing is typing in talent agency in Las Vegas, for instance, because talent agencies tend to be a lot more receptive to different body types, ages, and height. So for instance, when you are looking at talent agencies, what you're going to notice on there is that there's not this typical cookie cutter look of what you would think of for a model, right? You're going to see people who are 5'2", but you also may see on the talent agency pages models that are 5'9", right? Because there's going to be a range. You're also going to be seeing someone that's maybe 19 years old and then someone that is 65 years old. So talent agencies, when you are a petite model, is the perfect place to get started in your modeling career. And then sometimes from there, once you actually start developing your portfolio, once other agencies and even brands see that you have experience in the industry, then sometimes the bigger fashion agencies are more likely to sign you, even if you are obviously still petite, but because of your experience level, all of a sudden now they sometimes become more interested in you. Something to consider when you are trying to become a petite model is that you have to be mindful that you're going to be put into the category of commercial and lifestyle in most cases. So you're not necessarily going to be submitted to, let's just say hypothetically, the Dior or Balenciaga campaigns of the world unless you have facial features that really resemble that of the traditional fashion model. Otherwise, you are going to be put in the commercial and lifestyle modeling category. So what does that mean if you're in that category? It means that you are going to be not only submitted for print commercial jobs, like the happy faces, the smiling faces, but you're also generally going to be submitted for things such as TV commercials. So a lot of times when you're signed to the talent agency is going to be sending you on auditions where you have to have a little bit of acting skills. So does that mean that you have to be blockbuster acting skills? No, but you have to be able to go in there and maybe audition for a Sprite commercial or a Coca-Cola commercial or a makeup brand commercial, right? So they want to see how can you present yourself on camera. So as a petite model, you have to rely a little bit more, I would argue, on your personality and not just your looks, whereas maybe with the fashion category, you're a lot of times getting booked because of your height, your body structure, your facial features. But with commercial modeling, it's going to be, yes, of course, they want relatable, cute faces, but it's going to be a lot of how does your personality come across in a print ad and in a TV commercial. So when you're thinking about making yourself as marketable as possible as a petite model, so when I say petite, a lot of agencies are going to pretty much consider anything under 5'7" is going to be petite, right? So you want to make sure that you're making yourself marketable, and how do you do that? Before I get into the next tip of how to make yourself stand out more towards an agency, if you have not already subscribed to my channel, make sure that you hit that button. Leave comments below. For instance, what's your current height and what state are you in? Have you been struggling to get an agency? Feel free to drop those comments below, and also check the description area because I do have a link. If you are struggling to find some agencies that work with petite models, I have a link on my website, and when you go there, put your email and your name, I will send you back a list of modeling agencies that you can specifically check out. That link is going to be in the description. All right, so making yourself more marketable as a petite model. One thing that you can do is relative to your portfolio. So with your portfolio, you're gonna be having varied types of images. So in that, you wanna have one headshot that resembles very much an actor commercial headshot. This is the headshot that most talent and commercial agencies will use when they're submitting you for a TV audition or a TV commercial audition. So acting headshots are very standard, very cookie cutter in how they look. And so I will obviously have one of those on the screen, and that is one of the headshots that you're going to want to have. Next thing that you want to have in your portfolio, especially when you're petite, I mean, obviously all models will want this, but definitely petite, is opening up yourself for beauty work, right? So if you do have that face that you really feel like would be great for beauty work, makeup brands, skincare, for instance, is making sure that you have a really clear, natural face portfolio images. So natural doesn't mean that you can't have any makeup on. It just means that you don't want to have a bunch of colorful eyeshadow and glitter and all of that stuff. You just want what they call like bare face, but yet we all know that you're wearing makeup. So you want to make sure that you have one of those in your portfolio as well. Something else that is amazing when you are a petite model. So maybe you're thinking fitness modeling is technically not the category that you would be dreaming of booking, right? But when it comes to petite modeling, if you are into something like working out a lot or yoga, especially yoga, there are so many brands that hire petite models for things like yoga and for active wear. So if you can have some of those types of images in your portfolio as well, that's gonna be gold. It's going to open up some doors for you. So especially if you're someone that knows how to do handstands and all of that for yoga, that really helps you to get more interest from an agency as a petite model. The last trick that I'm gonna teach you in terms of just getting more interest from a modeling agency to become a petite agency signed model is when it comes to the submission process. So normally you know, or maybe you don't know, but there are two ways to get signed, right? You can either submit online to the agency via their website, or you can attend an agency open call. So if you're petite and an agency offers open calls, I highly recommend that you try to attend that open call, because if they're on the fence about you because of your height, but you really do feel like, you know, you have the look and you have the passion to be a model, sometimes when the agency sees you in person, they are able to gravitate more towards your personality, and maybe like the digitals, for instance, those photos that you took to submit online, maybe they weren't that great. But when the agency sees you in person, it definitely increases your chances of them wanting to sign you versus if you just submit online. So if you have any questions about petite modeling, about your portfolio as a petite model, or whatever else comes up in your mind in this journey of trying to get agency signed and booking paid modeling jobs, make sure that you put that in the comments. And don't forget to go to the description area, because I have the free guide there that's going to give you some listings of agencies for petite modeling. And the other link that is in the description also is for my posing course. So obviously as a model, you need to learn how to be a lot more confident and comfortable on camera, and you have to know how to give all of the angles, right, and the facial expressions. So my posing course is going to teach you how to do all of that on camera. All right, that is it for this week's video. Make sure that you subscribe. Again, I am Kamla-Kay, and I will see you in the next one.